There's 3 names we thought we'd never have to hear from again. Karine Jean-Pierre. She's gone from awful to author. She's written an autobiography of sorts about her time at the White House, but surely it'll land in the fiction section.
Hi, I'm Karine Jean-Pierre, and I am the author of a new book that's coming out this fall.
Did I mention that I'm black and queer? Karine Jean-Pierre's new book, a Dollar General exclusive.
So please do grab it. You know, serving as White House press secretary was an honor and a privilege. But since I have left, the people that come up to me, strangers that come up to me just across the country as I'm traveling, and sometimes right in my neighborhood, at a grocery store, supermarket, airport, my daughter's school, the number one question they ask me.
So, what could be the number one question put to her?
Why are you gay?
You.
Should I call you Mr. or Mrs.?
Are you stupid?
Big reveal.
How do we get out of this? How do we protect our democracy? How do we protect vulnerable communities among us? What do we do next?
Bullshit.
Because we don't have answers here.
You ain't got the answers. You ain't got the answers.
That's what they ask me.
You need to quit lying.
And this is my answer. And what I mean by that is, in an era of misinformation, disinformation.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Several recent deepfakes actually attacked the president for thanking troops. We're seeing these deepfakes, these manipulated videos.
What I have decided to do, and I really have thought long and hard about this, is to follow my own compass.
At a press briefing on July 2nd, 2024, a reporter stated, quote, "The administration strongly criticized the media for clips showing the president appearing to be confused, freezing at times."
Exhibit A.
You called it cheap fakes, misinformation, disinformation, and in one case implied that it was the product of artificial intelligence, calling it deep fakes. Do you have any regret over using that language? End quote.
Exhibit A.
You responded, quote, "No, not at all. And let me be clear, it was a certain part of the media." Was the term cheap fakes something that was put into the binder?
Meaning?
When you used the term cheap fakes, was that your choice of words in the moment, or was that something that had been prepared ahead of time as a talking point?
It was prepared.
Bullshit.
Do you know who prepared that?
It came from, again, various offices, departments, in creating the talking points for that particular issue.
Some people are really fucking stupid.
Why leave and call yourself an independent if you're still not fully ready to call balls and strikes for your old party?
Just to step back for a second here, I do want to address the Vice President Harris piece. I think she was more than qualified to be President of the United States. I say that in the book. I even defend her because there was a moment where the Democratic leadership was seeming to want to move in a direction where they wanted an open primary and a brokered convention, which I thought was insane to even bring that up when we had the Vice President, when she was more than qualified and she was on the ticket during the primary of 2024. And so I am very clear about that. The reason why I had doubts wasn't because of her and her abilities. The reason I have doubt is because I'm a woman, a Black woman walking through life, and I know how hard it is to break glass ceilings, and I know what's expected of you. In this Black body as a woman, there's always skepticism, at least for me, when I hear or feel that we have to be the first, or we have to break ceilings. It's just a very difficult thing to do. And that's what I mean. I think she was more than qualified to have done that job. So I kind of disagree with the question. I actually have been very clear and laid out in the book as to why I
am very disillusioned and disappointed with the Democratic Party, and I think they should do more. And we have to focus that now in the moment. We have to be really zeroed in on how we move forward.
And so you're still very careful about the reputation, of course, of the man that you worked for. I think something many people understand. But he was at the top of that ticket that many Americans felt failed the country.
Yeah, okay. I have known Joe Biden since 2009.
We do not care.
I got to see him every single day.
We don't care.
My opinion is obviously my personal opinion, and it's never changed. I've never varied from it when I was the White House press secretary till today.
Boring.
And what I'm trying to say is this is a man objectively, as president, has had a successful couple of years as president.
By what metric was he objectively successful?
Well, it was objectively successful by what he was able to do. Okay. When we came in, there was a crisis with COVID. There was a racial uprising because what we saw with George Floyd and so many other young people of color, Black people who were being killed by police. We saw that. It was videotaped.
Talking nonsense.
It was really speaking to what brown and Black communities were feeling. We saw that internationally, more broadly, our allies and partners were not trusting of the United States.
Which, again, is nonsense.
And the climate crisis. There were crises after crises.
Are you talking nonsense about us?
We had to come in. This president and the vice president had to come in and fix.
You sure about that?
I mean, there were things that we actually did that was transformative.
That you stood at the White House podium speaking on behalf of the administration. You defended U.S. policy in Gaza at a time where there were mass civilian casualties, journalists being killed, whole families being wiped out, hospitals being bombed. And the international community was calling it what it was at the time, saying it was a violation, it was war crimes, and you defended the administration's policy. When you look back at that moment, do you regret any of the positions that you advocated for on behalf of the administrations, the positions you take? Do you feel that you were complicit in advocating a narrative that turned out to be wrong?
No, I appreciate the question, because one thing that I really want to make clear is that I was speaking on behalf of the president. That is the job of the White House press secretary. I'm not speaking for Karine Jean-pierre. I was speaking for Joe Biden. That's every White House press secretary. That is their job.
Many times when we're bothered by something that we hear, that we will close our eyelids and leave those eyelids down for quite a bit of time. Now, the person who is doing this is not really aware that they're doing this behavior. We self-regulate by closing our eyelids. It helps us to self-soothe.
That is their job.
Well, you said now you speak for yourself,
Hold on. Wait, let me finish.
No, I know. I just wanted, because we're almost out of time. I just want to go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm going to get to it. Obviously, what's happening is heartbreaking.
And you were talking about the difference in being at the podium and then now in your personal capacity. The special counsel, Robert Hur, when his report came out about President Biden and the classified documents, you stood from the White House podium, February 2024, and you said that his commentary was gratuitous, that it was unacceptable, and it didn't live in reality. And clearly the American public saw another side of Joe Biden's mental acuity during the summer's debate. Robert Hur was unemployable for a period because of the attacks from the Democrats and from the White House that you were at the podium leading. Have you apologized to Robert Hur?
I mean, look, what I can say to you is I saw the president every single day. It wasn't one-offs. It wasn't once in a while. I saw him every day.
Don't change the subject. Just answer the fucking question.
Well, he is someone that was sharp.
Case, have you gone back to someone who you had pretty sharp comments about, and we all saw a different reality in your personal capacity?
What I'm saying is my reality was this. My reality was somebody that I saw every single day who was sharp.
Please, fuck right off.
4 more years. Pause.
Who pushed his team.
Well, President Harris led this effort.
I was understanding very clearly of the policy of history.
Putin may circle Kyiv with tanks, but he'll never gain the hearts and souls of the Iranian people.
Marie.
That is what I saw. I could only speak for what I saw on a daily basis for 2.5 years, almost 4 years, actually.
You need to quit lying.
And I was White House press secretary, obviously, for 2.5 years. And that is the president that I know. Someone who woke up every day and was very zeroed in and focused on how to deliver for the American people.
We finally beat Medicare.
And that's what I'm speaking to, is what I saw every day. And look, there's not many people who can say, oh, you know, they saw that. They saw somebody every day like the president of the United States and was able to speak for him. I'm able to do that. I was his White House press secretary.
Oh my God! Wow!
Do you have any regrets at all for anything that you said while you were speaking on behalf of this administration?
There is not a thing that comes to mind.
Look.
It's just it's a simple yes or no. You don't even know.
No, because you're asking for a yes or no question. I want to put some context to it too. I woke up every day. I woke up every day very proud to be the White House press secretary. I woke up every day as a Black woman who is queer, who no one had ever seen someone like me at that podium standing behind that lectern.
Nobody as stupid.
It was an honor and a privilege to have that job. And I did it to the best of my abilities. And I spoke for the President of the United States, a person that I believe was a decent person. We did not get everything right. No one is saying we got everything right. No one is saying that we got everything right.
Okay.
No one is saying that. But we did it to our best of our abilities, and I worked very hard to do that job. And so I want to put it into context. And as you know, at the podium, you don't do yes or no question answers.
No, we were hoping you would now that you are speaking for yourself and you're not at the podium.
But I was very proud.
Black woman, as a person who's also LGBTQ. As a black woman, I am a black woman, I am a queer woman, I am an immigrant. Being a black woman, as a black woman myself, that is the thing that I understood as a black woman, is that I meant a lot to people because of the communities that I represented. And whether it was women of color, black women, queer community, LGBTQ community, immigrant, and as a black woman, and I have my queerness too. And that's what this book does. October 21st.